Hello everyone, this is Natalie, your friendly neighborhood birdie. Today we are doing what I wanted to do from the moment the basement kit and the greenhouse kit arrived, which is building an old house with a cluttered basement that also has a greenhouse. I'm very creative, I know. I immediately went out and made these two fellas. I played them an entire life, so when we go into a live mode, you can see I have a bunch of pictures here. I had them adopt a daughter, and then that daughter have a child, so I've been really preparing for this build because I want to have those pictures in the actual build. I want this to be a relatively small home, but not too small. It should feel cozy enough, but I think this is gonna be the retirement home. This is not where they raised their child. But since they have lived a full life already, they do have some clutter stuff. And I want to build a basement as functional space. So I am thinking sauna. I want the upstairs to be slightly small. I could make it a little bit smaller here. I make the upstairs even smaller, putting the bathroom here. This would make for a more unique shape because then the upstairs doesn't exactly mirror the downstairs. I think that might be our roof. These are two storage rooms they have, or one laundry room and one storage room. Fun! We could play with laundry. And now for the greenhouse. There could be an outdoor gardening section right next to it. I think I want the house to move a little bit further back so they can have a front garden as well. Garden entrance here could just go from here. That's pretty. And this could be the front garden. Layout-wise, that works for me. Only took me 20 minutes to figure out the layout. I decided to go for a kind of pinkish stone that looks friendly but also old-timey. And now we can choose a front door that's fitting to that style. The bonus point of having the front door in its own little section with its own little entryway and hallway is that we can go a bright color and it doesn't necessarily have to work with the rest of the home. I'll just take the bright red door. Oh no. We'll figure something out about this. I really like the windows that came with the new pack, especially because they have so many different options and style. I'm going for this classic window, but I also really enjoy the version with the screen. Like, that's so fun. I am in my mind's eye also already building patios with screens, because I am forever scared of mosquitoes. Do I want a little itty bitty fence around the outdoor garden area? That's an interesting bug. What's happening here? This is this floor. If I ignore it, maybe it goes away on its own. But both of these elderly gentlemen that I made were gardeners in their youth. So this is actually great that they have plenty of gardening space in their backyard. Wood paneling is definitely the way to go with this sauna. I don't think we're gonna use the wallpaper from the kit simply because it's a bit disgusting. We're also not gonna use the mold and stuff. I really wanna use it though. It's a great item. I'm really happy about mold in the game, not outside. Mold is strictly an item that only makes me happy in The Sims. This floor is actually fitting for an old home. I think I'll keep it. First of all, I think I want to start with the basement kit and, the basement junk in general. We have some other basement junk, but I've always been struggling. It's always been a little bit lacking. The old TV. I imagine they have moved several times with this stuff. Like, they're one of those people where when there's emotions attached to it or they think they could potentially still fix it or use it or refurbish it, they keep it. Like, maybe some of them are family heirlooms. And also I think maybe I will give them a fireplace if I find the room for it. And then they can, maybe use some of this wood as firewood and they're practical like that. Don't think it's right for this place, but maybe for the laundry room actually. I said I wasn't gonna use the mold, but maybe some of the other stains. And like, I like those scuffs where you maybe moved some furniture around. I like the idea of them having the old Sims 1 bed. It's too iconic not to. Making it a bit bigger, it's probably best actually to make all the technically usable items as unusable as possible by stacking a lot of stuff here. Because otherwise my Sims will probably go out of their way just to end up down there. This very old rug is perfect. In general, I think the werewolf pack goes very well with the basement pack. Some old stuff the kids made, maybe the grandchild or the daughter, she was younger, and they still have it. A spider web. I really like the idea that these two old men, when their child finally moved out, decided to just buy a small old house that's big enough for them and has a beautiful backyard and to just live there instead of buying new or building or something like that. They just thought, no, we're two oldsters and we're gonna live in an old house. Putting things that are too straight at slight angles. I don't know if they can still use them there. I have to test that. But I currently can't, so I just have to hope they can use it. Maybe there is a drain in the floor. I know we have drains. If I size that one down, it would be more what I was thinking. Or maybe this could also have the wood paneling to make it feel more inviting and welcome. This room has a drain, probably that room has also. I think the bathroom down here is fairly practical. It's just used for the sauna. And yes, for the upstairs bathroom, we're absolutely gonna use the cool new slots we have. They do absolutely need bathrobes down here. A few necessities. But then other than that, I feel like this is done. This is a practical bathroom. As I said, they probably won't have renovated it at all. They just took it as it came with the house. It's just there for the sauna and that's it. I make this a really relaxing place for them. Downstairs doors all wooden instead of white because of the wood paneling. Seems to make sense to me. To sit and relax after the sauna maybe. And that's the downstairs for now. Now we can look at the upstairs. I think I want to start with the living room because I still have it in my head that I want a fireplace and I need to know where. This seems like an obvious place, but it would also be the only real place for a shelf. So I don't know. Would this be cool or horrible in front of the window? We could just go here and sacrifice the shelf space. I'm currently thinking that maybe I put the couches here, TV there, and then seating again here. Or alternatively seating to this side and seating to that side, and the TV here. Maybe with the old couch. No, I don't think it works for me. I would have loved to use it, but it surprisingly doesn't really work in that space. Finding the right furniture for the layout of the room is actually quite tricky. Also, in between recording, there's been about a week of hiatus, and I remember that I left off here with a kind of struggle on how to do this living room setup, and I'm still struggling. But I think I'm slowly getting there. At least it's starting to look like a room. I mean, they're both gardeners, so the flowers could actually work, even though they're not teenagers. Only problem is this is also dark. We like some more friendly colors. I do prefer a leather couch in a brown though for them, but the chairs in blue I actually quite like. This is too far gone, right? Even in the less far gone swatches. Yeah, they would keep their furniture in better shape. I think that works for the TV corner. In a circle. At a very slight angle. Simply because those chairs would move a lot, which would probably move the rug. I stole my bookshelf wall, so maybe something smaller on that side. Yeah, 2 is a bit much. But 1 works just fine. I also want to give them music. And I was thinking a record player. And in the basement kit we have the little basket, or what it was, with the records in it. Maybe actually on the record player. And also from the basement pack, this old plant. It's really old. It's from one of the old Sims games, I think. And I kind of love that. And I especially love it in an older household. Maybe this is actually a plant they've had forever. I mean, I think it's a plastic plant. A tad bit problematic for gardeners. But it doesn't have to be a plastic plant. It can just be a plant. That's kind of cool with how it's semi-transparent. I like it. It's also a little bit glamorous. But I think it suits the room because it does have a few gold tones in the record player, in this TV stand. I think that works. Even think about getting a golden swatch here. I figure they're outdoorsy in general, so they also like going fishing and all these things. I'm gonna change the wall color to some light blue, just for a slight tint of color. I think that works better. Gotta be careful that it's not too elegant and golden, so I'm trying to put a little more grounded things in there as well, trying to balance it out, because I don't usually want to go full theme on things. The curtain situation is gonna be tricky because of the rounded walls with the many windows on them. I think I'm gonna do that because the other things which is blocking the windows so much, and I think if you're a gardener you just want to have that view out to your garden. Some family photos up on the wall. Nice. I would consider that important to them, to have their family with them in some way, shape or form. I like to use this little thing as like a slot to put things on. It's kind of a shame it isn't actually a slot. I like this little plant. It's cute. Some friends of mine suggested that I should stream my builds. And they don't know I just spent 5 minutes picking out these 3 plants, and that's what I came up with. I wonder, should I give them a pet? They currently have none. But like maybe their daughter gave them a little dog so they stay active. Hold on. A little dachshund! Yes. The general. Puddly. Just putting all the things I want to put on various walls and stuff here. If these frames want to keep glitching, I'm just gonna pretend it's one of those fancy multi-picture frames. That's not right. What's happening here? Help. Oh, phew. We're back. I think I'm gonna go towards the kitchen now. It's kitchen and dining. Maybe I'll do it that way. That feels wrong. I want them to be able to have the kid and grandkid over. But that's hard. The way I'm shuffling things around here. Now that's a super small bathroom. I don't want to make the house any larger. That's the current problem. That makes more sense to me. Go out of my way. Yes, yes, yes. Now we have room in the bathroom and we have room in the kitchen. We enlarged the functional space without making the house bigger. Good. That only took forever. Now before I turn move objects back on, I need to place table and chairs so that I can make sure it's all functional. I never use this table, but with all the round shapes in this room, like with the wallpaper and the handles and stuff, maybe it fits in quite nicely. I really don't want it in this direction, because that way when somebody cooks, you're always having the back to them. Here. Oh dear. That's not... Is that okay? It seems very squished in here. Don't have that much counter space, and I want them to be able to cook together, so that's also fun. Do I want the pasta shelf? If you don't know what the pasta shelf is, there is a wall decoration item that is a shelf with a picture frame and some various containers that seem to contain pasta. So I named it the pasta shelf. The problem is it's not called the pasta shelf, so I can never find it. Pasta shelf. We like or we don't? I mean, it fits the space very nicely. I think we like. A little bit of abstract art and pasta. Those slots. This is my first time building since the slots came up. I'm very excited about them. Some mugs next to the tea maker. I just thought tea would be more fitting. I want all the spaces to feel kind of friendly and welcoming. And I hope this is still friendly and welcoming and not totally cramped. The limited amount of counter space means we have to absolutely utilize the wall space as well. Things like this. I mostly put these at the walls, simply because the items are right there and I don't have to put them on the counter. Whereas with other items it's a bit harder to not put them on counters and still have them in your game. I think I put kitchen towels here. Like this little touch that the last hanger is so in the corner that they don't really use it as much, so they mostly use the hangers in the front. I don't mind if the dog blocks one of the doors because we have two entryways, so just pick another one. I can really see the storyline that at first they were against it, but then they fell in love with the little bugger right away. We could also try and use these as cleaning products. Oh wait, we could also put the cleaners downstairs. Like they became full dog parents once they had the little critter. Okay, moving off to the bathroom. And now the basement bathroom was like this. Because it's the bathroom in the basement, but I want the upper bathrooms to have a different style. I just don't know what style. Maybe I'll leave the small bathroom for now, because maybe the upper bathroom should dictate the style. Especially with the roof clipping this annoyingly. In which case I could go to styling the hallway. Could have like one accent wall. Then there's stuff to put here and seating there, and that could work. Birth and or like adoption and marriage certificate. I think no seating is almost better, yeah. We have already a lot of seating options. And the same rug upstairs. Maybe a tad bit smaller. Now this place here screams picture frames to me. There we go, all filled up with pictures. Nice and shiny family pictures. Maybe the 3-tier one can go here, because it's kind of empty. I've used fairly little artwork so far. It was mostly personal family pictures, but I want to use a little bit of it as well. I almost never use these pictures, but the colors are fitting incredibly well. So I've been thinking they're definitely gonna get a computer, because I think they would want to keep in touch with family like that. But they're not use the computer every day kind of people. They'd much rather be outside. So I don't want to give it any special attention. Maybe I can make this a custom shelf. Now to the scary bathroom. Because of the stupid clipping roof. First I have to test out wallpapers to see which one is the least jarring with the clipping roof. If it was at least pure white, but no, it's got this blue tint. Basically I couldn't get rid of the clipping bug. It has to do with a platform, and whenever a platform is in the room, the trim would clip through. This trim, however, doesn't clip through, but I didn't want to change it everywhere, so I only used this for the non-open gable roofs. Hopefully it doesn't look too stupid, but yeah. I don't think it shows too much. I'm actually fine with this solution, but the bug is annoying. But now with the bug solved, we can actually go about building the room. The struggle is super real. I mean, I could just do it differently and literally be done with it already. But of course I don't. I'm just forcing this to happen no matter what. This doesn't even look good. The problem is I wanted this stone area to go all the way up, but that doesn't work either. When scaled down, it doesn't reach the ceiling. So I had to come up with this. Maybe if I do this and then add some more wood colors, maybe that makes it make sense. And it's all because I have a vision and enforce it. I could have easily built another bathroom and be frankly done already, probably with the entire build, but no. On the roof? What? What's happening here? My guy. Okay, all other corners are normal. It's probably because of the roof. Ah, that's fucking things up again. This bathroom is the problem child. Fine. Then we have 2 towels on the right side. That makes no fucking sense, but okay, game. Interesting slots though. I would have thought both back slots would be available. I literally forgot that I have installed laundry, so I just had to put in the laundry here. It's just in the middle of everything, but I cannot be arsed anymore. This isn't gonna be my best build, and that's fair, and that's that. So this is the upstairs bathroom, and that's the downstairs bathroom that has a little bit of shelving system and storage and whatnot, and it's functional, it's usable. That's enough for me because I cannot do bathrooms anymore. We'll go to the bedroom now. I always use a ton of seating options, but that's just because I like them. Even in real life, I have a relatively big apartment, and in that relatively big apartment I have a gigantic couch that seats like 9 or 10 people. I think I like this more, just as a way to add even more texture with a little fur thingy there. This room is shaping up. Curtains, I want to try something, a combination. I think I keep it. It's a touch of decor, because otherwise the room is relatively simple, and I think I want to keep it that way too. Trying to find a color that doesn't make it look like toothpaste. I'm thinking orange. So I want it to be like hand cream or something like that. I think it's just a chill out area with maybe pots to plant something. I forgot again that we have laundry, so we need a hamper. To the main event, the garden area. After all, what I really wanted to build was a greenhouse. Okay, outside path, gray. Inside path, red. Oh, and I want the flower arrangement table. There we go. And bees. I want bees. I want to have bees, 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 bees. I mean, it does make sense to have some of it outside, because I'm also gardening outside to an extent. I want all the little pots and stuff. Maybe this is where our two gardeners are treating their little seedlings. Obviously, we need planters. This goes away because I remember we have a plant that also, like a little orange tree or lemon tree, that just looks like something that belongs in a greenhouse. God, those texts are great. Planter's amalgam of betrayal. You bought me your first house plant. You set me on the ground in a simple, solid colored pot. But then you bought an even bigger plant. Put it in a fancy two-tone pot on a stand, so it's looming even taller over me, even more. And my reward for persevering, living every day in the shadow of that new and improved plant of yours, you bought another, even bigger one, on an even taller stand, with an even nicer pot. Of course you did. Ha! What's next? A cute little toolbox of succulents next to me to remind me I can't even bank on being small and charming? I know you'd never be that cruel, right? Da-dum. God, I love the text. Honestly, the best about the new items usually is the text. But anyway, I'm also betraying the houseplant for the citrus tree. Doesn't that just look like something you plant in a greenhouse? Awesome. There's this little gardening box as well. A hose is a good idea. Oh, maybe the hose can be outside? That would need a little trickery here. And then outside here, I want I want ivies and stuff to rank up here. Oh yeah, I like that. That's super cool to have a greenhouse that's all ranky and overgrown. But I also shouldn't overdo it. I can easily do too much here. Like, I think this is plenty. It doesn't need to be fully overgrown everywhere. Maybe just have this rank up here. That's cool. No, I like it. That's cool. I wonder... I think I would like a tree. Providing some shade when you're gardening and stuff like this. I like the idea. Okay, so I'm in the mood for an organic flower patch again. Which means I have to place all these debug stones individually. The wild part is I chose to do that. Nobody's making me. I just think the two gardening grandpas would enjoy an organic flower patch. An eternity later. Finally! Oh my god, finally! Oh. And second flower bed done too. Now all I have to do is make it green. Okay, finally, we arrived. The build is finished. This is the home from the outside. I used an organic looking wildflower patch, partially because that's just what I personally like and I wanted it to be comfortable, but also because those are gardeners that also have bees. I'm sure they would plant a wild and bee-friendly garden. I incorporated some of the red of the front door in the garden as well. In the backyard, we have our greenhouse and our outside gardening space. It looks very cozy and lovely to do gardening here. We also have a weird glitch on the foundation, but we ignore it. So, first things first, let's head on inside. So, this is the ground level floor. When we enter, we see a little bit of the red from the front door again, simply because otherwise the color would be very alone here. Now, the red is used for the curtains, the picture frames, but also for this accent wall that also features the handprints of their daughter and their birth certificate, because the two people living here are retirees and they moved out in a smaller home and they brought a little bit of their family with them, mainly their daughter and their granddaughter in pictures. The daughter gave them a puppy as well, so that's also walking around here. This is the living room. The living room is separated into the TV area that also overlooks the garden space. These two are retired gardeners, so they sure as hell would love to see the flowers bloom. Here we have our record player with our record collection, and this here is the fireplace where you can also sit and relax, and they do that often. This is the little puppy they got. It's a little dachshund. More family photos. Again, family is very important to these two Sims. And this is the kitchen. I wanted to make sure that the space feels both warm, welcoming, and traditional, but also modern. Like, they chose to live in an older home, a small old house, after their daughter moved out, and this is supposed to reflect that. But also they're fun and modern, and they do renovations in their home. This is the downstairs bathroom. It's a small bathroom. Now, I had quite a lot of trouble with the bathrooms in this lot, so by the time I did this, I was just fully trying to finish it. I think for all the trouble I had, this at least looks half decent, I would say. Here is where we enter into the garden. A little seating area where you can see our lovely couple dance together. Oh, that's cute. And also one of the reasons I even did this build, the greenhouse. I got the new greenhouse kit and of course I had to try it out. So this is the inside of our greenhouse. We have a little station here for the seedlings. This is the flower arrangement table, and here is the basic gardening space. The Sims have actual utilizable space here that they can use for gardening and for seed storage. It's quite cool. Outside we have a bees box, because every great gardener I know is also into bees. And an outside gardening patch, maybe for larger crops. Back inside we can also quickly enter the basement. In the basement we have quite a few different ways to utilize the space. First is the utility room, where they have their washer and their dryer, and some basic household cleaning equipment. Next to that is the second reason I even did this build, and that's the cluttered storage area of the basement. Here's all the stuff they brought when they moved in that's super old and they probably should have gotten rid of, but they couldn't. It holds value, and emotional value especially. And they have a lot of stuff here that's all crammed into the corners. I just love how the basement kit makes everything super cluttered, and it also works really well with other packs and kits. So this is just the basement. Oh, hello. He's just coming here to chill. Yeah, why not? Here we have a little relaxation area where you can sit. Now you might wonder, why would you sit in your basement? Well, because this here is the sauna. Come here, take a steam, and then cool off a little on the sofa. Now of course, if you have a sauna in the basement, you also need a little basement bathroom. This is ours. They didn't bother renovating this one. It has the old tiles and it has a drainage system on the floor. It's nothing special, but it was there. From here we can go upstairs. The hallway upstairs mirrors the hallway downstairs. We have this little storage area that isn't just additional place to store stuff, but also doubles as a bookcase. They also have a bonsai tree here to do some indoor gardening, and this is also where their computer lives. The door to the right leads to the upstairs bathroom. That one gave me a lot of trouble. I only want to hear nice things. No. They have a bathtub and a shower. Of course I utilized the new slots to put a scented candle on the toilet in case somebody took a really bad dump. Now, to the left is the bedroom of the two. Of course, it's the bedroom of the three. The little pupper can sleep here as well. It's a very softly colored space, so it's very relaxing. It again has a little reading nook, lots of spaces to just sit and relax and calm down, and it has a balcony that also overlooks the beautiful garden. I hope you enjoyed this little build, and by little I mean it took me 8 hours. I don't know why it took so long, but it did. 8 hours. So I'm gonna step away from the computer for a while now, and I hope whatever you do that you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.